Good morning, gamers. This is your Ohiohammer R&R Review Edition. Today I'm going to take a look at Dark Age Apocalypse. This will be just a high-level overview of the book and the miniatures that I've picked up thus far. If you want a really good rundown of rules and gameplay, I highly recommend Garage Hammer's Garage Gamer number 5, where they have Mr. Brian Steele on to talk through the lore of the game as well as the game mechanics. I highly recommend that episode for anybody looking into Dark Age. Okay, and now we'll take a look at the Skarrd starter box set contents. First, start off with the Harpies, which you can see the studio paint scheme here. Now, the Harpies do come in multiple parts. The wings are separate. They are kind of a flat miniature to start with the posing, but there wasn't a lot of flash or mold lines, but there were quite a few places where there were the excess injection points that needed to be taken care of. Then you got the 3 buzz blades. Now, these guys are a lot more dynamic, with separate weapon arms and separate shield arms. I mean, again, it's really kind of hard to take a good look in these pictures that I've got. I need to figure out a better way to deal with that. They are highly detailed. I've not tried putting them together yet, so I'm not sure how the pieces really fit together. They are definitely a lot more dynamic in their posing with the separate weapons and separate shields. And next up, you get the Golab, which is the large guy. I like on this that they give you a set of swords to choose from. I mean, it is one large chunk of metal. Again, there's not a lot of mold lines or flash or anything to worry about on the actual sculpt. And then the Grafter. The Grafter is just a single piece model. It looked like it might have been a slightly older sculpt, but it still had some really nice detail, even though it was kind of flat. Now, they went ahead and gave me 4 cards in the box. I was a little more expecting, like Privateer Press does, where every member of the unit gets a card to track damage and that. Dark Age doesn't go that direction, obviously. And then into the rulebook. The rulebook is a 96-page, full color. Really a nice, beautiful book. Real nice gloss page. You got the table of contents. It goes through the core rules. It goes through just a showing of each of the factions they have out right now, which do not include the core, which are just released. There is a little bit of fluff in it, a lot of Brahms' wonderful artwork. They do go into advanced play, terrain rules, scenarios, campaigns. There's a glossary. They go ahead and give you the photocopyable templates and counters. I mean, overall, the book is beautiful. I've not gotten a chance to put the minis together or actually play through the game. I do have to say, the confusing part for me, looking at what I picked up, which was the core rulebook for $20, as well as the Skarrd box set at $50, is that you really don't get a good feel to where to go next. Each of the factions is divided into a few sub-factions. For the Skarrd, it's the Cult of Blood or the Cult of Poison, Cult of Toxin, I believe. Toxic Cult. So, without picking up the Force book for $40, it is a little confusing to know which direction to expand a force. Now, the Dark Age website is fairly good about saying who is a non-aligned faction, so you can kind of play with some of the, generic minions. But, again, without having the Force book, it does feel a little bit limited. Overall, the book is beautiful. I mean, the models, like I said, should be fairly well out of the box and be able to be put together and painted. And I definitely look forward to talking with Brian Steele again at Origins and picking up the Force book and just kind of going forward and seeing, where Dark Age is going. And with that, guys, I will see you on the weekend for the next edition of Ohiohammer R&R.
This podcast was brought to you by the Ohiohammer network of podcasts. If you liked the show, please check out our site, www.ohiohammer.com, and follow us on Twitter. Our addresses are at Ohiohammer2011, at Jake_Ohiohammer, at Mark Dieter, and at Ken_Second Founding. We ask that if you like the show, please leave us a positive review on iTunes. Remember, all products and companies talked about on this podcast are the respective property of their owners, and the Ohiohammer Network makes no claim to said property. As always, guys, enjoy the site, enjoy the podcast, and enjoy the game.